Hey, surprise, I'm not here in class. It's not my choice on this one. I have a sick kid. I'm recording this late at night, not even home from a basketball game with my eighth graders, and found out that my kiddo is sick, so I have to take her to the doctor tomorrow. So, bad news is I'm not there with you today. I feel the same way. The other bad news is the fact that we're not going to be able to do Greek mythology today and get into stories. I know, I feel the same way on that one too. Good news is I thought about doing a couple different things, but really, I think an extra book report workday is probably not going to hurt you. I think you guys could use the time to help you get the checkpoint ready for Friday. And there's a chance some of you could, get extra credit if you can get beyond the checkpoint that's coming up. So I figured maybe it's fortuitous and it'll help you out and make things better. So instead of doing a thing that gave you more work, I'm going to give you a book report workday. So we'll do that today. So hopefully you use your time wisely, and we'll talk about why in just a moment. If you're wanting to do the grammar test retake, that is not open today. That'll be open on Friday, the day we actually have the official checkpoint due. Checkpoint is still on Friday. So no grammar test retake. Mostly, well, not mostly, but part of it being the Socrative is locked up for you guys turning in your people that you want to use for Camp Tecumseh for your groups. And I can't have two of them open at once. And I thought about closing one and opening the other, but I was like, nah, we're fine. If you want to redo grammar, do it on Friday. You'll be okay. Use today to study if you wanted to. That's a crazy idea. But otherwise, work on book report. Checkpoint is still due on Friday. Not changing that. That's going to be just as normal. You're just going to have a 2 book report workday week. And I figure for some of you guys, it could really help your grade and trying to do what I can in that area. So be ready for checkpoint coming up on Friday. Use today to get worked ahead if you can. Speeches will continue tomorrow. I will be back on the off chance that my kid really has issues. Then I'll still be back and we'll have someone else stay with her and things like that. So I'll be there. So speeches, be ready for that one. And so we'll talk more about that here in a second to try and get you ready. So reminder, with speeches, if you've not read the directions, please do. Take today. Take all of 5 minutes and get out your piece of paper, read through it, take a look at it. Make sure you have some idea of what you're doing. I'm just trying to help you with this whole grade thing. So take a look at this whole area. Or, better yet, turn this paper over, look at the back side, and here is the narrative speech rubric. Fill in this part of it. The thing that you're supposed to be filling in for the project, this area right here, that has to be filled in before you give your speech. Use today to do that. Figure out what you want to do. Make sure you follow the directions. This part that's right up there. You cannot, or my goal is not to use complete sentences. You cannot have more than 7 words per line. You can have less, but this is all you're taking up with you. Whatever you write in this area, that's all you get to use for your speech. So figure out what you're going to do, plan it out a little bit, and write it out today. And do the same thing back over here with this area. If you have more than 4 characters, choose the 4 most important ones. If you have less than 4, that's fine, as long as that's exactly how it is. I mean, you can't really practice saying it out loud today in class, but you can still go through it and know what you're going to do. Because again, 10 of you are standing up giving a speech tomorrow. If we have volunteers, we'll use volunteers. But once we run out of volunteers, then that's what it is. And we'll start picking kids. And again, I'm trying to give you guys time to get this ready for tomorrow. Yes, I know some of you guys are going to blow it off, but whoever I can help and bump up your grade, and that way you don't have to come back later and say, well, how can I help my grade? Right now, this is how you help your grade. The group buddy things. It's still open today if you haven't had a chance to fix it. Some of you contacted me because you need to change your groups. You get one more time. I would recommend waiting until tomorrow evening until you're sure you're ready to lock it in, and then you can enter a second one. Just put your name and then number 2. By the way, some of you didn't do this whole directions following thing, because if you pay attention to the directions, it says when you write a person's name, it has to be last name, first name. No number in front of it. It is Jones, comma, Bobby. A lot of you put 3 Jones, Bobby. That throws things out of order for me, and I delete your choice. A lot of you put it in as Bobby Jones. I delete your choice. I would say Of the 60 kids who turned it in yesterday, easily 35 of them, I deleted most of your guesses or most of your people that you put on there because you did not follow directions. If you can't follow directions on this, I just delete it. I figure if you don't take the time to read the directions on this, then I get to choose your person. So if you realize directions are not your friend, we'll give you another try. Input it again. You get one more try. Follow directions this time, or don't follow directions and let it go from there. And so you're more than welcome to put this entry in. By the way, your choices that you make today with my sub while I'm home with my sick kiddo are going to impact your groups. If I come back and find out that you made poor choices, yeah, that's going to impact your group. Choose wisely. If I can't trust you with a sub, how am I trusting you with my high school kids? So impressing me is going to start here. Use today to do what you're supposed to. So things to work on today. Again, book report. Checkpoint due on Friday. It's your next grade going into it. Speech tomorrow. Big grade for that one. As long as you have practiced it a little bit, know what you're doing, have some idea, you'll be fine. I'm not worried about it, except for those of you who blow it off and have no idea what you're going to do. Yeah, for you, we're probably going to have a bit more of an issue. Work on book report as far as drawing the pictures go. I have extra sheets on my desk. If you want one, just like last time, let the sub know, and the sub will write down your name. That's fine with me. If you need to go to your locker, let the sub know. We'll write down name. It's going to cost you points or a pass when I come back on Thursday. So be ready for that one. Otherwise, I have colored pencils. You're welcome to my colored pencils. Just try not to make too much of a mess. I'm going to leave the colored pencils on my desk because when I put them on the podium last time, it made a bit of a mess. So I'm going to leave them over here on my desk area, and hopefully that works out well. We'll figure out from that point. If you have music, and you want to listen to music, that's fine with me, unless you're on my list of kids who can't because you missed the last checkpoint. If you missed the checkpoint last week, you cannot listen to music this time. And so hopefully you'll be good to go for Friday, but I've left the list of kids who cannot listen to music. Can you work on other homework? If you brought it and you make good choices, sure, that's fine with me, as long as you're on top of my checkpoint for Friday. And I think that covers most of it. Again, I'll be back tomorrow. If you have a question, you can fire it to me over Remind. I'm assuming I'll be sitting with my kid in the doctor's office or something like that. So if you send me a reminder, an email, I should be able to get back to you, answer questions as best I can. Speeches tomorrow, checkpoint on Friday. I think that covers most of the issues. Camp Tecumseh groups are good from there. If you have a Camp Tecumseh money, you can give it to Mrs. Randall, and she can take all the Camp Tecumseh money. She used to collect it in the past, so she'll be fine. Give it to her. Say, hey, Mr. Broviak's gone today. Can you take this? She'll be fine with it. I have not a worry on that one whatsoever. Other than that, thank you guys. I'm sorry. I hate being gone from school. I hated being gone from school on the last checkpoint. But it is what it is. You know, love my kid, so you got to do what you got to do. See you guys tomorrow. Check you.